Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here for something kind of cool. We're going to take a look at my ranking of Pokemon games. So let's load up all the ones that I've played. Now recently I did play Pokemon Sword. Finished playing that and I figure why don't we go through and rank every Pokemon game that I've played. Enough about to say if I like it or not, which is all the ones here on the screen. And also we're going to, just go over which one's the best, why I like it, that type of thing. So here's all the ones written on the screen. Also, some of them have certain notes next to them. And I want to say that I did start playing Pokemon in 2010. The first game I ever played was Pokemon Sapphire. I was at a summer camp, and I always thought Pokemon was really lame. And then one kid that was my friend at the time and said, "Oh, you should, play Pokemon." So he gave me Pokemon Sapphire to play, and I played that, and it was really cool. And then later that summer, I had went on vacation, and my vacation money was spent at Walmart buying Pokemon Soul Silver. So the first game I ever played was Pokemon Sapphire, but the battery died and it didn't work anymore. So the first game I ever completed and considered my first real game was Soul Silver, and you also see that Pokemon Platinum was the game that I most played. I had like 200 something hours in that game, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I think it was more than 200. It was like 500 or something. Yeah, it was 500 hours. I played that game an insane amount. So let's load up here the image of the first game, Pokemon Yellow, for the Game Boy. So Pokemon Yellow is one that I haven't ever played through the whole thing of, but I did play a decent amount. I have the old cartridge for it, and also had the version of it on the 3DS when they released first and second gen on that. So, yeah, Pokemon Yellow. We're going to do this very similar to our Red Bull flavor ranking. So, we're going to create a gap here. Pokemon Yellow is going to be first for now. Games. Alright, so we'll put Pokemon Yellow first. It's not going to stay there, but Pokemon Yellow's the first one. Not really the biggest fan of first gen, if I'm honest, but Pokemon Yellow is kind of cool, starting with Pikachu instead of the other starters. Is interesting. Not something I'm the biggest fan of a game first gen. Not a hardcore stan of that like a lot of people are, but nonetheless, decent game for its time. Kind of unique to play and see those old games. Next game here is Pokemon Sapphire version. Well, Pokemon Sapphire. Look at that. Look at that. Those are the good days. Those are the good days of gaming. Little cartridges in your DS and Game Boy. That was it, man. That was cool. Got back to that a little bit, like that vibe playing the Switch, playing Pokemon Sword, finishing the Pokedex and that, and starting up Pokemon Shield actually today. Like that vibe is just like, damn, playing Pokemon on a handheld. That's where it's at. As fun as it is to play on the TV, that's really where it's at. Is that handheld vibe. Also, I do want to note that some of these games here I did play both versions of, like Diamond also had Pearl. Don't know if I played it that much. Black 2, or Black and Black 2, I also had White and White 2. I'm only listing the first one of each version that I played. Like, when we get to Soul Silver, I also had Heart Gold. Moon, I believe I had Sun. I think I did have Sun. And for Sword, I have Shield. Also, Let's Go Pikachu. Debatable if it's a main series game. I don't personally consider it a main series game, but I threw it on here because why not? It's the closest side game to a main series game that there is. And you could also, I guess, say that about, Gales of Darkness and stuff like that, but Let's Go Pikachu was first gen, just redone. But where are we going to put Sapphire? We'll put it above Yellow. Sapphire is a pretty fun game. I did enjoy the little bit of it that I played 10 years ago before it died. but Sapphire overall, pretty cool. Like, thinking back to those old Game Boy graphics when I first played, I'm like, this is actually really fun. And I used to name my Pokemon dumb things. I know I got a Trico named Tree, which I don't have the same exact one, but when I played Alpha Sapphire, I did get a Trico, and that I named it Tree. Also know I caught a Geodude and named it Rock. Tell you that much. Alright, next up, Pokemon Emerald. I did end up getting rid of most of these games, but I'm kind of disappointed that I sold most of these to buy some shitty PlayStation game, or whatever I decided to buy. So I am disappointed in that, because I could have definitely kept, like, most of these. I think that the only ones that I still have are, like, these ones. Actually, these ones. And then I have X digitally purchased, but this is it. That's all I got. So I definitely wish that I had some of those old ones, especially Platinum. That one hurt, man. Platinum and Soul Silver, oof. Emerald I do have the Game Boy cartridge of somewhere in my room, maybe over there on my shelf. It may actually be in my GameCube, because a little attachment to play it. Pokemon Emerald, again, it's like, look at these graphics, dude. Oh my god, this vibe. This is a vibe right here. The Hoenn region is so dank. Like, look at these. Look at that look, bro. Pokemon Go. It's viral and in tune with the times. Like, look at this, bro. These graphics. Honestly, third gen. Like, I think for me, maybe it's just because that was the first game that I ever played. But, like, well, Sapphire. But, like, the Sapphire and Emerald, like, vibe. Just, oh my god, dude. I am going to put Emerald above Sapphire, because I did like that better than Sapphire. I like the combination of being able to get Rayquaza and, I don't know, the other two legends. I sort of like the idea of getting all. I believe you could get all three. That was pretty cool. I just loved that, how they were fighting, very similar to Sapphire. And, but the Rayquaza came in, I yeeted both of them. Because I thought that was cool, battling both evil teams that is one. You know, sort of one you're working with. Not with, but, you know, they're not, like, trying to yeet you. I thought it was cool that you went against both of them and kind of got in the way of both of the things they were doing, instead of just getting in the way of one of them. Next up is Pokemon Diamond. Pokemon Diamond was pretty dank. The first DS release for Pokemon. I did play Pokemon Diamond after Pokemon Platinum. And I'm going to have to put Diamond below Emerald. Typically, the second release of a generation I've always found more fun. Like Emerald, Platinum, Black 2. I've always liked more. At least those three, like, they didn't really do that for X and Y. There wasn't like a Z or something like people thought there would be. And we'll get to Moon and Sun and Moon. But even then, those were better than the first release. But Diamond, fun game overall. I like Dialga a lot. It's one of my favorite legendary Pokemon, probably. It's definitely up there. Dude's super cool. So for that, I will put Diamond here above Sapphire and Yellow, but a little below Emerald just because that vibe of Emerald is so dank. Next up is Pokemon Platinum. Now, Pokemon Platinum is one of, if not the best Pokemon games. Like, Platinum is one of those things, like, I don't know. I just loved playing through that game, and I always played it. I even played Soul Silver before it, and then moved everything into Platinum. I went back a year. I did so many things. I played the game every single day. I got all the, like, everyday ribbons that you get from that guy in whatever city that's called. Like, I just love Sinnoh so much, and Pokemon Platinum is definitely the best of the three games there. And going into the Distortion world, I got the book for it. What book is it? Where is it? The picture's here. This one. I bought that. That book is dank. It's in the closet over there. I have so many Pokemon books too. We could go into a whole thing that I got like a massive stack of them. But like, that is one of the best games, and that's definitely going on the top of my list. Alright, so next up is Pokemon Soul Silver. Now, Pokemon Soul Silver was fun because, again, that was one of the first Pokemon game that I really played all the way through. Like I said, I got Pokemon Sapphire, but the battery died in the cartridge, and it was just something I never got to complete. But Pokemon Soul Silver was the first one I got, and like I said, I just got into Pokemon that summer, so it was only like a few weeks in. And the fun thing about Pokemon Soul Silver was I actually wanted Heart Gold more. Fun fact. But it was sold out at the Walmart that I went to. So basically the story that is I went on vacation in New Hampshire in 2010. And of course I had to bring my DS. And, you know, I don't know if everybody has this, but when you're a kid, at least I used to have some money that I was given for vacation from, I don't know, family and stuff like that. Be like, oh, buy a little something. So I kind of saved up all the money that I got, which was enough to buy this game. I don't remember. I was like 11. Like, I don't know. I had enough money to buy the game, either way. And I went into Walmart and in New Hampshire and bought Pokemon Soul Silver. I remember playing it everywhere. I remember we went to some restaurant and I remember playing it there when we were waiting for food. That stands out. But this game just like, it has that certain memory. I remember getting Nintendo Power and reading like the 2 or 3 pages of it. Nintendo Power was the magazine. I have a bunch of them somewhere from like 2010 to 2012 for the last couple years. And I got some like the first couple early editions. But Pokemon Soul Silver for me stands out because of that. Plus, the Pokewalker. That boy is dank. Like, look at this box, bro. I have that box still. And the Pokewalker is actually over there on my table. I found the box it was in. So, Pokemon Soul Silver, from that standpoint, was very cool. Now, am I going to say that it's the number 1 game? No. But I will put it above Emerald on my list for now. Next up is Pokemon Black. Now, Pokemon Black had Reshiram on the cover. So it was the opposite. Reshiram was on Pokemon Black. And then the Zekrom was on Pokemon White. Which was interesting that they sort of swapped instead of doing... It was white and black and white. But Reshiram is interesting. So is Zekrom. I don't know really how I... Like, 5th Gen's one of those things that I kind of... Some days I think, I really like 5th Gen. Some days I'm just like, it's alright. Black and White... The thing about Black and White that was cool was it wasn't upgraded in the graphics from something we hadn't ever seen before in Pokemon. The Pokemon moved a little bit. There's a little bit more going on than sort of not moving. So that was cool to see them move in battle and like the way the world looked when you walked around it. And it was interesting that they made the most Pokemon of any generation in that one. And then we get to see, you know, only those Pokemon, which is very cool. We didn't get anything near that many Pokemon 6th, 7th, and 8th Gen. Like, it's been... Well, one of them had 60 new Pokemon. I think 6th Gen, or 7th Gen had, like, barely any new ones. 8th Gen was pretty good. It was, like, 82, and we're going to get more with the add-on, but... Pokemon Black. This one with Victini on that little island thingy. That was fun. Pokemon Black was fun. Probably the last of the like old era Pokemon. 1 through 5 was like its own era, and then like 6 to 8 is a different era. So really the last of the main era with like the first era Pokemon, and it was very fun. Pokemon Black. I'm not gonna put it above Platinum, but it will go there. So next up we have Pokemon Black 2. Pokemon Black 2 was more fun than Pokemon Black. Black 2 had like the interesting time. They were like sort of messing with fusing Pokemon, changing things with the legendaries like that. Something we hadn't seen with legendary Pokemon before. We'd seen like, hearing about Pokemon being one and splitting up and all that stuff. We're different connections with them, and how all the legendary Pokemon were connected, basically. You heard about how Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina all connected, and Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza all connected, but this is like the first time we've seen that they were like one Pokemon, basically. Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem were all one Pokemon, and in Black 2 and White 2, we got to see the fusion of that. And Zekrom fuses with Kyurem is really, really cool. Like, look at this dude. Dude is dank. I believe that was Black Kyurem, and then we had White Kyurem. I believe that's what they were called. I don't believe they were Zekrom and Reshiram. So this kind of like shows the fusion between the two, and that Pokemon was super, super cool. I loved having that and battling with that back in 5th gen. Black 2 is one of those games that's like really, really highly ranked for me. When I think my favorite Pokemon games, it's always between Black 2 and Platinum for my favorites. So this is like where it peaked for me for liking games. I'm gonna have to put Black 2. What the fuck? Okay. There we go. I'm gonna have to put Black 2 above Platinum. Very, very close between the two. I love both those games a lot. Now we get into a new era of Pokemon. It's when things started to change in the Pokemon series. Not all good changes, not all terrible changes. Pokemon X. Now, this is the first time that I ever said, I don't know if I want to get a Pokemon on release. A Pokemon game on release. Now, the only time that I've not gotten a Pokemon game since I've been playing, so Black 2, X, Y, or X and Y, and then Alpha Sapphire, Sun, Ultra Sun, Sword and Shield. The only time that I haven't got one since then is Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I only played a few weeks ago. That's the only one that I did not get on release day. Everything else I got the first day. But Pokemon X, I was definitely leaning towards not buying. Until like a couple weeks before, I'm like, I gotta get Pokemon X, and I got really hyped. Now, Pokemon X is one of those things that I look back on and like more than I did in the moment, for sure. Pokemon X was kind of cool. It was nice to have your Pokemon in a 3D game, the 3DS. Not that I used it, but, in a 3DS game on the 3DS. Unlike what we had for Black 2. And you can see they're really trying out stuff, messing with it a little bit more. Getting ready for Ultra Sun and Moon, or getting ready for Sun and Moon. It was really almost a trial generation. Which is interesting because then a few years later the Nintendo Switch came out, and it's kind of pointless. But either way, Pokemon X, really good, was fun. Xerneas is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon as well. I think Xerneas is a super cool dude. If honestly there's any legendary Pokemon I'm going to battle with, it is Xerneas. And that's the thing that I look back to X and Y, where I think, those games kind of like ruined Pokemon, but really, the Mega Evolutions were dank. I think Mega Evolutions are one of the best additions into the game. Very disappointed they're not in Sword and Shield, because Mega Evolutions are very fun to use and mess with. So, Pokemon X will rank here third on my list. Oh, what did I do? I took out a letter. There we go. Alright, so Pokemon X will rank there. Alright, next we have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, the first remake. Oh no, the second remake on our list here. The first remake, though, of a game that we previously played. And as I've said, I love the Hoenn region so much. It's basically Pokemon Sapphire, but upgraded. I love, like, this here. I know it's a small picture, but the flying around on the Latios and Latios Mega Evolution across the region was so cool. The primal version of Kyogre and Groudon was really awesome. And just basically putting an upgrading. Like, look at this. This part was, like, so cool to see this upgrade from the original game. You know, a little bit more, like, even those little scenes to see them upgraded. I love Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Because, again, it's Sapphire but upgraded. That may... Whoa, what did I do here? May actually be my number one game. It's really hard between these top three. Next up, though, we go to Pokemon Moon. Oh boy. If there's one generation that I hated the most, it was 7th Gen. 7th Gen had nothing really good about it. Genuinely, the only thing I like about 7th Gen is Lycanroc. Honestly, that's the only cool thing, in my opinion, from 7th Gen. Lycanroc is a super, super cool Pokemon, one of my favorites. I love Duskform Lycanroc from Ultra Sun. But, like, this game was pretty bad. I remember playing, because this was 2016 this came out. Lamine and I were playing it. He came over after school. We went and bought it. I remember him staying over that night. And it took us 4 hours to get past the tutorial part. Or like 2 hours, and it was like 4 in Ultra Sun. But either way, the tutorial for both of those games was absolutely obnoxious. When I read that people thought that they were holding your hand too much Pokemon Sword, I was like, whoa. Did you play Pokemon Moon? That was so obnoxious. A fourth of the game. Because one of the 4 islands was telling you how to play the game. You didn't get your starter Pokemon for like 2 hours. Oh my god, dude. That game took so long to get to the beginning part. And it really didn't feel like they let up on guiding you through it. Pokemon Moon was absolutely terrible. Honestly, the only game worse than it's probably Yellow because it's just so old. The only thing about Pokemon Yellow is that it was older and the graphics were pretty lame. And I didn't really play much of it. And honestly, Ultra Sun, it got a little bit better. Besides the fact that the tutorial took you, again, hours to do in the beginning, how to get through the game. And it did give us Duskform Lycanroc. We did get the fusion with these legendary Pokemon together, Necrozoma and Lunala and Solgaleo, whatever one you picked. That was kind of interesting. Felt very similar to Black 2 and White 2, but that was a thing. And also going and getting Pipel and Nagandal, or Pipel to evolve into Nagandal was kind of cool. But that was really it. They made Legendary Pokemon Evolve, stupid Cosmog. Those two games were absolutely terrible. They were the worst Pokemon games that I've really played a good amount of. Honestly, I'm disappointed that these have to be close to each other. Because genuinely the gap between this is like that. This is really the gap between the games. It's not that it's like one line. Like, if we're gonna accurately represent like gaps between games, like, let's do it here. This is really the gap between games. Alright. Pull it back up just a little bit there, just to, not make it a meme, but that's our list of games so far. So we got Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Sword. So we finally get a get a Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. We've played games on the 3DS, DS, Game Boy. So here we are, Nintendo Switch. So, again, Let's Go Pikachu is one of those debatable games. The main series is it not. Consider it what you like. I don't really consider it main series, but it's the closest side game that has ever been to a main series game. So, also Let's Go Pikachu had to get on release as well. So Let's Go Pikachu came out in 2018 on the Switch. And again, Let's Go Pikachu is sort of two things. Instead of dedicating a whole generation of Pokemon to testing out the capability of a system like they did with X and Y, why not make a side game very similar to a main series game? Put low effort, but enough that it's a complete game. We didn't have a lot of stuff. Again, it was first gen essentially updated and put on here. Plus, you call it Let's Go. Because, again, it's Pokemon Yellow, basically updated. You put Let's Go in the name. You get that Pokemon Go vibe to it. It's the first time you can bring Pokemon for Pokemon Go into a other game, which ultimately did let you bring them into Pokemon Sword and Shield through Pokemon Home. This was one of those games that really was a test. But it did have that main vibe, and again, it was a little different. You didn't have to bring your Pokemon to a PC to swap them out. You didn't have to worry about abilities and all that stuff, which was interesting. Kind of an introduction game for the people that got into Pokemon Go and maybe said, I'll buy a game. The Go normies. It's a way to get them involved. And overall, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu wasn't a bad game. I did like the mechanics of catching Pokemon by, throwing the ball to screen. It was kind of cool in that sense, either to use the Pokeball Plus or to just, go like that with your controller, your little Switch, whatever thing, and try to catch Pokemon. It was interesting. Let's Go Pikachu. Decent game overall. Where would I put it in the ranking of Pokemon games? I'll put it between Emerald and Diamond. Alright, the final game to get to has a lot of controversy to it. Pokemon Sword. Now, I will admit, I was one of those people who definitely did not like the changes to it. A lot of the Pokemon changes, and I definitely didn't buy it for a while. Until recently when I thought, why not? Let's buy it, try it out, see if it's cool. Which it absolutely was. Pokemon Sword. Was I wrong about a Pokemon game? Not typically one that publicly admits on my YouTube channel that I made a mistake about things, because typically I'm right. But in this instance, I was definitely wrong. Pokemon Sword was a very fun game to play. People thought that this game sort of held your hand. I didn't really feel that vibe. Pokemon Sword, I enjoyed going through, trying to catch some unique different things, and it had a really good Pokemon vibe, and it did bring back the vibes of what I felt was definitely missing in Pokemon Moon and Ultra Sun. Like, it had that vibe of a game that honestly felt to me like Pokemon Black a little bit. It really did. It had that vibe of a game that I really, really liked. It's the first Pokemon game that I completed the Pokedex in. Granted, there is no national Pokedex in Pokemon Sword, but I did obtain every single Pokemon that I could, besides Zamazenta from Pokemon Shield, which I will get eventually into it. But everything else you can obtain easily through trading, because everybody on GTS is going to trade you the legendary Pokemon that you only get one of in that version of the game, which I understand. So, what about Pokemon Sword is disappointing? Well, Dynamax, Gigamax, whatever the hell they're called, both of them, they're kind of lame. I would definitely like to see a continuation of Mega Evolution more than that, but they gotta come with something different to get you to want to play the game. If you just say, here's Mega Evolution, you'd be like, okay. They did that with Ultra Sun, which had Z moves, which we didn't touch on in the moment, but those were garbage. Gigamax, Dynamax, I don't remember which one's which. One of them changes the form of the Pokemon. One of them doesn't. I don't know which one's which. I couldn't tell you. Didn't pay that much attention. Not a big fan. You only use it in gym battles, Battle Tower, and the Pokemon Championship. So you don't use it that much. Which I think was cool that it wasn't... I don't feel like it was something you used as much. Where Z-moves felt like it was every single battle. Mega Evolution felt like it was fun to do almost every single battle. Like, of all three of them, Mega Evolution's the best. Gigamax, take it or leave it, second. Z moves are absolutely terrible. So, nothing special there. What else for Pokemon Sword, though? The fact that they don't have every single Pokemon in it, and there are only 400 Pokemon obtainable, and about 80 of them are new Pokemon. The fact that there's only about 320 old Pokemon, out of the fact that there was 800 something of them. It is kind of disappointing. They did add more in a patch, so I don't know what the exact number is now, but in the Pokedex, because they're not in the Pokedex. So yeah, disappointing, like, for me to not be able to bring my Typhlosion, which I've had since Soul Silver, so 10 years I've had it, to not be able to bring that into Pokemon Sword. Yeah, that is a little disappointing, but overall, I mean, Pokemon Sword, I liked. I think the reason they set it for coding, and then for someone to find out that, hey, the coding, the modeling was the same from the old generations, like, that's kind of lame. But overall, Pokemon Sword, I thought was a really good game. I'm thinking in this range. I'm thinking right here. I'm really that confident how good Pokemon Sword was. People don't really like it that much. I'm looking forward to the DLCs, honestly. I bought both of them, or I bought the DLC. Definitely excited about that. I'm definitely excited to get playing Pokemon Shield. So yeah, that's that. That's how I feel about Pokemon games. Number 1 Pokemon game is Alpha Sapphire, followed by number 2, Pokemon Black 2, number 3, Pokemon Platinum, number 4, Pokemon Sword, and number 5, Pokemon X. The worst games in my opinion, Pokemon Yellow, just because, again, a lot of first-gen standard is quite old for Pokemon games, so instead of what you're looking for at this moment, nostalgia-wise, would probably be cool, but not a fan of playing games in black and white. But for recent games, 7th gen, in general, like I said, I have one good Pokemon, Lycanroc. The rest of that game can just go yeet itself. I don't really care. Both of those games were terrible. Pokemon Sapphire, like, again, this is sort of like, this is my thing. I like all of these games, and I would play all of them. These are ones that I wouldn't play again, especially these two. Again, Yellow, like I said, download just because, not a stan. Don't really care. Honestly, I feel it does injustice to have Pokemon Yellow there. It should be like this. Like these 5, then these ones are pretty good. Honestly, there really shouldn't be separation there. But this is kind of like my list. Like, that's how I feel about it. I want to go back and look and see if I've ever ranked these games before. See how I feel then. And just compare on my own. I don't know if I've written them down in notes ever, but it's similar to these games being at least in my top game ranking. So either way, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.